Plastic surgery, Botox, and aging is something that most celebs go through, but the results aren't always the best. That's why we're counting down our list of the celebrities who destroyed their face beyond recognition. Starting off, we have Madonna. At the 2023 awards, when Madonna showed up to present an award, fans barely recognized her. Many questioned whether she had undergone some form of cosmetic surgery, and now several leading plastic surgeons are weighing in on what they believe Madonna could have had done. Dr. Horn says she looks like she's undergone a facelift. Her eyes also seem smaller, likely due to being pulled during a facelift. It appears as if she's had rhinoplasty, as this version has a pointy tip and seems too narrow. Botox was also evident on many areas of her face, while pointing out the lack of expression lines and wrinkles, as well as her minimal facial movement during her speech. Now, social media went ablaze about this, and 2 weeks later, Madonna took to Twitter, posting a photo of herself, captioning it, "Look how cute I am now that the swelling from the surgery has gone down, LOL." Now, she didn't reveal any further details on the nature of the procedure or when she had gone under the knife, but it appears that she finally admitted to having plastic surgery, which is about time because everyone knows she had something done. On to Jocelyn Wildenstein. Despite the enormous amount of speculation and reporting on the many surgical procedures that socialite Jocelyn Wildenstein has undergone over the years, she has always denied any suggestion that she's had surgery. But I mean, if you look at photos of her over the years, you can tell she's lying, as no one naturally looks like that. It says her surgery journey started with an eye lift and then she had a facelift. It's also said she had a brow lift, facelift, lip plumping injections, chin augmentation, fat grafting and/or cheek implants, upper and lower eyelid surgery, and canthroplexic, a procedure that elevates the eyes to give them a cat-like appearance. Now, this has resulted in her being nicknamed Catwoman. I mean, she doesn't even really look human anymore. Now, Jocelyn told Daily Mail TV that her cat-like eyes and high cheekbones were due to her Swiss heritage, but many people, including myself, are skeptical. I don't see other Swiss people looking like that, so I don't think it has to do with her heritage at all. Moving on to Lil' Kim. In April 2016, the rapper posted a photo of herself that shocked the internet. She looked unrecognizable with her very pale skin, slim nose, and long blonde hair. "Dark-skinned Lil' Kim was perfection. I don't know who this woman is anymore," a fan tweeted. Now, Dr. Jennifer Levine, a board-certified plastic surgeon, can spot the differences too. It's clear that there has been some skin bleaching. She's probably used chemicals which contain very high doses of acids on her face, combined with high-acid creams to lighten her skin, she told Us Weekly. She added that Kim has probably had her eyes done as well. They seem elongated and completely different. Kim would have had to have surgery to remove the fat, skin, and tissue to create this new eye shape. But the biggest differences, according to Jennifer, are to her jawline. She could have had Botox injections under the jaw for a more chiseled look, she tells Us. And in case it's not obvious, Kim probably had filler injected into her cheeks. She looks nothing like her old self and looks like she's playing some sort of character. It's honestly unsettling. Now we have Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace has never admitted to getting plastic surgery, but many experts have shared their assessment of her drastic transformation. Dr. David Rappaport provided a timeline for Donatella's alleged procedures. From 2002, her face seems to have more artificially defined fullness, where now her lips seem to be overinflated, he said. Most recently, it seems very clear that she has a facelift scar that I can see in front of the temple area. You can see a fine line scar, he said. Her face looks more taut and tight, and she clearly has undergone facelift surgery, perhaps overinflated cheek and lips. It appears as if her nose has never been done. He added, mainly I would say facelift, somewhere between 2011 to 2014 she had one. The hairline has been lifted too high, it shouldn't end that high above the ear, and it could be because she's had more than one, but we can't know that for sure. Now, regardless of what she's done, we know she's had something done, because her face looks completely different. Then there's Jer Burns. Actor Jer Burns' face shows exactly what can happen when you get too much bad Botox. You can see in his after photos that there is zero muscle movement in the center of his forehead. On the sides above his eyes, however, are more normal looking wrinkles that go with raising eyebrows. There is so much Botox though that it appears that he can't raise the inside half of his eyebrows as they're paralyzed. But Jer has other thoughts. In his lengthy 2016 interview with Kevin Pollak, Jer was asked if he had worked with country singer Kenny Rogers. "I'm gonna say it was before the eye job," Kevin asked. Burns then decided to make a joke about himself and said, "Listen, I think it looks natural. Are you kidding? What?" before he started playing around with his face. But if he thinks that looks good, I'm questioning his entire judgment. Moving on to Mary Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore acknowledged to getting plastic surgery in her autobiography published in 1995 by saying, "I decided to get a new face, or at least a much younger version of the one I already had. The operation went well, but the morning I was to leave the hospital, my face resembled a bruised tomato. My eyes were slits and my entire head was swathed in bandages. I'd been told what to expect, but I wasn't prepared for the apparition that squinted back at me from the mirror. I was a gargoyle." Now, Dr. Michael Nicole, a plastic surgeon in Newport Beach, spoke about Mary's transformation, saying, "She looks as if she had a facelift and a cheek rejuvenation. Part of what you're seeing is the overfilling of the cheeks, which causes the lopsidedness. I think she could use a fat transfer to the eyelids to soften the overall look." Yeah, she definitely does not look like what she looked like before. Next up is Pete Burns. Pete Burns left the music industry in 2002 and he began getting a lot of plastic surgery. He first turned to plastic surgery, he said, because of a crooked nose that was the result of being headbutted in Liverpool. He then went on to get 4 nose jobs, cheekbone implants, and numerous procedures on his lips. During a 2010 ABC interview, he explained, "I see myself as my own clay and I was remodeling it." Now, he went so far that repeated operations led to infections in his face and lips, and this ultimately led to endless corrective procedures. Then the medication he needed to take for this led him to develop blood clots in his legs, heart, and lungs. He was on his deathbed, but he recovered through a 10-day stay that involved the heavy use of blood thinners. Though he survived, Pete's teeth were forever damaged from the thinners, so he required veneers and ultimately total reconstructive surgery. He looked nothing like he did at the beginning of his career, and I'm sure fans had a hard time recognizing him. Now let's talk about LaToya Jackson. It's said that LaToya Jackson is just one nose job away from the same catastrophe suffered by her brother Michael. In exclusive photos, LaToya was spotted dashing out of a store on October 13, 2017. Now strangely, she was wearing a hairnet, leading some sources to speculate that she'd undergone cosmetic work earlier in the day. Now, if you look at photos of her in her past years, her nose is shrinking. Her face evolution was then revealed by a panel of America's top plastic surgeons, and while none have treated LaToya, they all agree that she's gone under the knife for multiple nose jobs. The outer flare of the nostrils has been severely narrowed to the point of near disappearance, said Dr. Lyle Back. Each surgery carries the risk of more collapse, and so we end up with a very unnatural, very narrow nostril. LaToya's nose appears to be ever changing, added Dr. Anthony Yon. The one constant is that it always appears to be getting smaller. I suspect she's had several nose jobs, and if you have too many nose jobs, the nose can collapse and it can be nearly impossible to breathe through, he added. I would strongly recommend LaToya stop with any further surgery on her nose. Another nose job could spell disaster. And yeah, I have to agree. She doesn't want her nose to fall off now, does she? Then there's Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox was once a famous actor who somewhat fell off, but it was due to her altering her appearance that got her back in headlines because of her shocking plastic surgery. Now, it's unclear if or when Nikki did undergo any procedures, since she apparently moved over to mostly voiceover work in 2009. However, the paparazzi did capture photos of Nikki in 2013 with extremely swollen lips and a puffy face that left many confused by her transformation. Now, Radar Online referred to Nikki in these photos as a far cry from her former self, while the Daily Mail called her almost recognizable and looking older than her 34 years. Now, her face looked puffy and far from natural. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Flario talked about Nikki's transformation, and he said, "She definitely appears to have gotten some sort of filler in her cheeks and lips, which could either be Perylene or Resolene. Injectables always look best on a person when they are not noticeable, not when everyone can tell that the person had work done." Well, unfortunately, we can definitely tell that she had work done. And finally on our list, we have Khloe Kardashian. Since 2007, Khloe Kardashian has starred with her family in their reality show, but Khloe's face has gone through many different changes. Now, fans have wondered whether Khloe's ever-changing appearances is the result of plastic surgery, fillers, photo editing, or a combination of the three, and personally, I think it's all three. I love her, but why is one eye higher? One user wrote in a comment section of her photos. Another user shared, "What? No, not authentic at all. Even her fans are getting confused." Now, Khloe has addressed the backlash she receives over her altered Instagram posts by admitting to using filters. According to the US Sun, she posted a series of filtered videos to her Instagram stories in June 2021, and she captioned one of the clips, Mary God Bless Her filter. Now fans now know that she alters her images, but what about her actual physical appearance? It turns out that Khloe has admitted to undergoing plastic surgery as well. She said, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she's had her third face transplant, but I've had one nose job and everyone gets so upset." Now it seems like Khloe really doesn't care how people are perceiving her because she's doing what makes her happy, but sometimes it's just very confusing.
Keeping up with the ever-changing beauty trends of Hollywood is tough and leaves many with regrets. Here are 10 A-list celebs that feel that they had ruined their face with plastic surgery at some point. In an appearance on Running Wild with Bear Grylls in 2016, Friends star Courtney Cox revealed she regrets getting some filler. During her appearance on their survival skills reality TV show, Courtney Cox said, "Getting older is not the easiest, but I have learned lessons. I think I was trying to keep up with being older. I have done things I regret, and luckily they're things that dissolve and go away, so that's good, but that's not always my best look." She did let those things dissolve shortly after. Quite a bit later, in a 2022 interview with the Sunday Times, Courtney revealed that she thought she looked really strange after getting her procedures, and that what she had done to her face she would never do now. Kenny Rogers is an absolutely iconic man, known for hits like She Believes in Me and Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer. The late singer has fans all over the world. Most fans were shocked when Rogers revealed a pretty major transformation in the early 2000s. His 2013 memoir, Luck or Something Like It, Rogers gives an explanation as to why he got the facial procedures done, saying that he did it because he was trying to keep up with the younger stars coming in and wanted a bit of a revamp. A 2012 visit to CBS This Morning echoed this sentiment. He also shared in this 2012 interview that he regrets it. He said, "I had the money to do it and I had time off and I regret that. But the truth is, I don't know what I would have looked like if I hadn't done it." The part that he has gone on record saying that he regrets the most was his eye job. This happened in a 2006 interview with People. He said that the eye job was too tight around the eyelids for him and that it drives him crazy. But he had found the humor in the situation thanks to friend Dolly Parton, the country queen herself and Rogers' duet partner on the hit track Islands in the Stream. Apparently, Dolly used to tease him about the various surgeries. In an interview with Anderson Cooper, Kenny Rogers confirms all of this, saying, "Dolly and I used to laugh about it. I think he looks just fine after, but I can understand why he might have been upset with the after pictures." Khloe Kardashian has famously admitted that she was not happy with some of her procedures, specifically the fillers she had done in her face in 2015. According to the Daily Mail, Khloe allegedly said, "It did not work for me, I looked crazy, and I still think the effects are in there. I went to have it all dissolved like 3 times. The fillers were done shortly before then-husband Lamar Odom's accident." Khloe revealed that when she had spoken to her doctor about the mess-up fillers, he said, "I think it's just too much was happening to your real emotions, so she tried to get the fillers dissolved." Khloe was overall not thrilled about the situation, saying, "It was a bummer and now I'm afraid to do it again, and I'm almost like I swear things are still in my face." The entire thing was a pretty major reveal to Kardashian-Jenner fans, as Khloe has adamantly denied having any filler in the past. Just recently, Khloe has confirmed that she has had a nose job and has one regret about it, that she didn't do it sooner. That was shared via her Twitter accounts. Cameron Diaz disliked the way Botox made her look. She revealed this fact in a 2014 interview with Entertainment Tonight. The star of Charlie's Angels and Shrek shared that she has tried Botox before, where it was like a tiny little touch of something. It changed her face in such a weird way. She'd rather see her face aging than a face that doesn't belong to her at all. She went on to say that she doesn't want to smooth out the smile lines because that means she's smiled her whole life. While Botox might not be the choice for Cameron Diaz, she has no judgment towards people who do choose to get Botox. Ariana Grande is in a similar boat. In her Vogue Beauty Secret tutorial that was posted to Vogue's YouTube on September 12, 2023, Ariana shared that she has had a ton of lip fillers over the years and Botox, but now she's over and done with it. Ariana has disclosed that she wants to now see herself age naturally. Like Cameron Diaz, Ariana Grande wants to see her well-earned cry lines and smile lines. She continued to share that she stopped all those procedures back in 2018 because, in her words, she felt like hiding because it felt too much. While she did seem to be done for now, she isn't ruling anything out for the future. She's leaving the door open for the possibility of a facelift, but not for a long time, like at least 10 years. But even then, it's only a maybe. So we'll check back in a decade. Star of The Hills, actress Heidi Montag has made many headlines, but specifically in the field of cosmetic surgery. She is known for undergoing 10 surgeries in one day in 2010. 10 in one day at age 23. For the face specifically, she had a brow lift, Botox, and a chin reduction, plus more. In a 2012 interview with Access Hollywood Live, Heidi revealed she was definitely way in over her head, and she only wanted a few enhancements and then it kind of got out of hand. Further going on to say, "I wasn't really told the repercussions and what would happen, emotionally and physically, and the pain I would be in. It was kind of a shock." As of that 2012 interview, Heidi hadn't received any additional work, wanting to focus on being healthy, alive, and strong in her words. Right after these surgeries, she was open to more, but that has changed, especially more recently. In a 2019 interview with Cosmopolitan, Heidi shared her 32-year-old perspective on things, saying, "I was way too young to make such life-changing decisions, and I was under so much pressure because it was the beginning of comment sections and negativity and hate on the internet." Being in the Hollywood spotlight is never easy, and I'm glad she has found peace with the situation. Jennifer Grey has regretted her nose job that she received in 1989, not necessarily because it didn't look good. I think she looks great either way. It's just when she changed her nose, it changed her whole face, and she was suddenly unrecognizable. This decision went on to hurt her career. She had just done the iconic film Dirty Dancing, yet she wasn't getting hired much after in Hollywood, probably because she looked so different. At least, that is what Jennifer Grey thinks. She said, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous," going further, saying, "I'll always be this once famous actress nobody recognizes because of a nose job." Though it was hard for her to get roles, she wasn't completely out of the game. She had some guest appearances on Friends and House, as well as a few TV movies. She did famously win the 2010 season of Dancing with the Stars. Makes sense. Kylie Jenner has one of the most famous pouts in the world, making a considerable amount of money off the lip kits she created, so you can have one too. However, she hasn't always loved her lips. It's no secret that Kylie has had lip injections, but in a 2016 interview with Allure, and also her sister, Kim Kardashian, Kylie admitted that she definitely made her lips a little too big at one point. Kim agreeing with her. Kylie did explain herself, saying, "I got excited and I felt I needed to do a lot, and then you guys were like, 'Kylie, you need to chill,' and then I had to go back and have it fixed, and it was a crazy process. Thank God I didn't end up on Botched." She regrets going overboard with the filler, but not getting it in the first place. Kylie's lips have definitely become a main part of her brand now, and I think they look great, and she seems way happier with them now. Just recently, on March 8th, Kylie sat down with the New York Times and shared some insight how she feels now, saying, "It's just years and years of not feeling like my face or looks are accepted. There's nothing anyone could ever say now that would hurt me." Melanie Griffith is known for Working Girl, Lolita, and giving birth to Madam Web herself, Dakota Johnson. Love Dakota, but this ain't about her. Melanie Griffith sat down with Vanity Fair in 2017 to discuss life, love, and her past plastic surgeries. She said she hadn't noticed something was up with the procedures and the amount she was receiving until outside parties started pointing things out. Griffith shared she was hurt by constant comments like, "Oh my god, what has she done?" and decided to take matters into her own hands. She started visiting a different doctor to get everything fixed up. She went on to say, "I went to a different doctor and he started dissolving all of this stuff that this other doctor had put in. Hopefully I look more normal now." I think she looks great and is rocking it on the red carpet. She has appeared alongside her daughter Dakota on a few and has been in a few films more recently, like The Disaster Artist. She was also in Stuart Little 2 as a little bird. That's not on topic or important at all, but it is important to me. Sharon Osbourne seriously regretted a 5-hour facelift she had back in 2021. In her own words, she thought she looked like a cyclops because one eye was different to the other. She was able to joke about the situation, saying, "All I need is a hunchback." The TV personality told the Sunday Times that the procedure was a full facelift and that she looked like one of those mummies that they wrap with bandages. It's a few years later though, and Sharon Osbourne, in my opinion, doesn't look like these descriptions at all. She looks great right now. Well, she was, and I cannot stress this enough, not very happy with the results, and neither was her husband, Ozzy Osbourne. He told her, "I don't care how much it costs, we'll get it redone." And she did. Sharon did have to wait until her face was fully healed before she could head back in the room, but eventually she was able to go back in and have everything corrected. Sharon is no stranger to cosmetic procedures and has openly spoken about the ones she's received in the past. While speaking to The Times, she revealed that she has had a tummy tuck, lifts to multiple body parts, breast implants, and Botox, as well as 3 facelifts. But it looks like Sharon Osbourne might be done with it all. In an interview with The Sun in April of 2023, she reveals that the previously mentioned disaster facelift has put me off and it frightens me. I really pushed it with the last facelift and I am now like, no more.
Number 10, Kendall Jenner. Now, there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond-shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good, Miley? No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side-by-sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6, Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? We can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond-shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5, Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to to Express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added that he believed that she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery, while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled. But as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air. And by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. She was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil' Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil' Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil' Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil' Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Cathy Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also anything involving your rear and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take. Well, fear no more, Instalift is probably on its way, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a thing. I'm not a scientist. Those are celebrities that might have gotten ponytail surgery. Again, I'm not sure, and if you're mad mad about something I said in this video, that's fair. Thanks for sticking around to the end though. Leave a like and comment down below if you enjoyed, and please follow our channel for more celebrity content every single day. I've been Nate. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Folks, sometimes all you gotta do to look your best is the exact opposite of what these people did. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 celebrities who destroyed their faces with filler. Number 10, Kim Basinger. The 69-year-old actress and former model's face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she's had a lot of work done. Well, a few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in to Express, and he said that he thinks she received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claimed that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these can be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables such as Botox. She also has clear lines around her mouth, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin also seems much fresher with a more even complexion, and this could be due to several factors such as laser treatments, but a second expert named Reza Nizab agreed and added that he believes she might have also had some kind of a fat transfer or a facelift. Now this could explain the almond-shaped eyes hidden behind these massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland, insisted that her mother had never received any plastic surgery, while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid Botox and other skin treatments, just listen to her mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all of those years, Ireland wrote in an Instagram comment. Kim herself was never addressed the speculation surrounding her looks, but just look at her and it's pretty obvious. Number 9, Courtney Cox. Friends star was speaking with UK Sunday Times Style magazine ahead of the launch of her new comedy horror TV show Shining Vale, in which she plays a depressed novelist who moves from New York City to rural Connecticut with her family. Cox herself is facing up to the fact that she's not far off of 60, and she admitted that she initially tried to fight aging with all kinds of cosmetic treatments, but eventually realized that she had gone crazy and is now trying to age gracefully. Despite her global superstar status, Cox said her confidence was dented a few years ago after shooting a pilot for a series that was never produced. Thankfully, the treatments she received could be removed, her face filler slowly dissolved, and it would appear that she's decided to steer clear of any more cosmetic situations, proven by her role in the new Scream series, where she really does not look all that different from her days on Friends. Number 8, Madonna. What is there to say about this woman's career? Madonna has been stuck in our heads since we first heard hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You. Now, what may have also gotten stuck in your head was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 1980s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, and at times channeled some serious Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate then that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 1980s to now showcase these major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a silicone mask of Madonna over their own face. What's more is combined work seems to have molded her eyes into the almond shape of a cat. She just looks kind of funny in pictures. Fans have always been left wondering what she may have looked like had she never gotten any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would the material be riddled with stain? Number 7, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right forever. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years though, and side-by-sides from her Disney days show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek filler going on, but her eyes are much more cat-like than they originally were. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past to redesign or enhance features without the need of invasive surgery. However, no foundation on the planet can give Selena the features that she currently possesses. It comes as no surprise that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands, and has adamantly denied that she's received any kind of major surgery over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a long time, even deleting photos from Instagram because she received such massive slews of negative comments. While it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any work, just watch her on screen these days and it's enough to prove to you that young Alex Russo that we once knew has vanished into thin air. Number 6, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has admitted that she regretted using Botox to battle the signs of aging. The Australian actress confessed that she did indeed use the cosmetic injections, but said that it was an unfortunate step in her beauty regime, adding that she was glad to regain some of the movement in her face. She recounts getting Botox at one point and claimed that it had unfortunately left her face looking disfigured, ultimately opting out of of another jab. She claims to have hated the way that she looked when first receiving the shots, very quickly realizing what a mistake she had made. She claims that her beauty comes from a natural place outside of this, saying in interviews that she is not one to advocate for plastic surgery. She claims to use sunscreen, does not use any illegal substances, and she takes care of herself. Hey, if I had millions of dollars, I might drink a smoothie and hire a trainer too, but I don't know. Number 5. Ariana Grande. Ariana. Now, it should be no surprise to learn that Ariana Grande is not 100% clean, clear, beautiful cover girl. Okay, the Sam and Cat star and world famous musician dropped some truth during her Vogue Beauty Secrets tutorial a few weeks ago. Grande shared with the world that she has had a ton of Botox and lip fillers over the years, but that she was ready to go back to the way that she looked. For a long time, she was getting regular injections and surgeries, but according to Ariana herself, she stopped seeking those treatments in 2018. She claimed that she felt like she was hiding herself from the world, and she was tired of being hidden behind a fake layer of herself. She went on to say that the decision to stop was also motivated by her wishing to see her natural features again, like her smile lines. Now, she said that she may get a facelift in 10 years or so down the line, but compared to the invasiveness of Botox, that should be a chill Tuesday for her. Number 4. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is one of many people from the Kardashian crew that I could have chosen for this list, but unlike her sisters, Khloe's actually opened up to fans about her cosmetic surgery journey, revealing her only regret was having a nose job. For years, Keeping Up with the Kardashian fans had questioned whether Khloe had any work done on her face, and during the show's reunion special last year, she confirmed that she had cosmetic surgery. She'd apparently been hesitant to share the information with her fans, as she claimed the world is a bit too easy to set off, and that people would more than likely bombard her with backlash, which is exactly what happened. After revealing the truth, she was blasted with questions left and right, like who, what, when, where, why. According to Khloe, the main reason she wanted to try something different was because she was tired of being compared to her siblings all the time. The Kardashian clan is large and filled with basically one of every kind of crazy, but Khloe has maintained that she regrets trying to alter herself just to be different than her sisters. Number 3. Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure that she had done to her butt years ago and gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son Wave in September of 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she got a surgery in August to have 90% of her bipolymer bum injections removed, so something she already had done got taken out. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to your doctors, not just with bum injections, but also Brazilian bum lifts and all other plastic and cosmetic surgeries. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because she needed time to recover from liposuction. On Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of, well, that. The same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter Culture and was unhappy with needing to take the time off. So Cardi's biggest problem isn't that, she's getting all these procedures, but the recovery time it seems to take. Well, that's too bad for her, because surgeries are a lot and it's fair that it takes a while to recover. Number 2. Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has no issues when it comes to being open about what plastic surgery procedures she's had done. The 35-year-old model recently took to her Instagram story to show off the results of the cosmetic surgery procedures that she revealed she underwent. Vocal fat removal is one of the specific and biggest ones. But the goal of vocal fat removal is to thin your cheeks, specifically in the areas of the cheek hollows. While she claims that the removal was a success and that she could see the results, the aftermath of the situation left her on the other side of the argument. She was candid about this procedure, and many were still questioning how she got these cheeks so perfect. Speculation started running wild, with people claiming to know for a fact that Chrissy had fillers. In fact, there was an entire YouTube channel dedicated to proving this woman was made of silicone. She addressed the rumors online and claimed that she did in fact receive the aforementioned solutions, but she denied the claims that she received any kind of cheek fillers. Instead, she made it known that she was not an advocate for body morphing, claiming that the only time it should ever be done is for medical purposes. Number 1. Jocelyn Wildenstein. This New York socialite is not a stranger to the world of media. Ever since the mid-90s, she's been famous around the world as being a literal cat woman, having received so much plastic surgery that she now looked like a cat. Well, that's what people say. I think she looks more like a lion, but lion woman doesn't have as nice of a ring to it. Her journey started with the titular cat eye lift surgery, but it was just the first in many steps to get her this perfect face. According to her friends and family, however, the surgeries were intended to not give her a Barbie-like face, but that of a lynx, which she apparently had as a pet. While she was famous for a long time, it was the photos that were shared following her divorce from her husband Alec that really made her famous. Most of the attention was of course drawn to her looks, and she was quickly dubbed the Catwoman by the entire world. Despite being worth millions of dollars, Jocelyn has faced financial struggles over the past few years, and at one point she was even sued by American Express for owing them $70,000 in credit. Her cat eyes may be trapped behind a massive layer of plastic and silicone, but they will always be the first step taken down her rocky road. And those are the celebrities who looked the strangest and worst with their faces full. Did we miss any truly memorable moments? Let us know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Celebrities have fans hiding behind every corner. I'm sorry, did I say fans? I meant creepy stalkers. Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 celebrities who came face to face with their stalkers. Number 10, Katy Perry. In 2017, the Miami Police Department arrested a Katy Perry fan from Poland with aggravated stalking after he had allegedly been following Katy Perry around the entire country and attempted to get backstage at one of her shows. As the show was about to begin, Powell Jersky attempted to rush the stage before being stopped by security at the last minute. Just before Powell made it to the stage, he came this close to meeting Katy in person. Instead, she watched as he was tackled to the ground and dragged out of the venue. He was charged with 4 counts, including felonies for stalking and escape. According to the testimonies from the actual court case, Powell told the judge that he would do whatever it took to be with Katy. He followed her around the entire country. The case also brought to light a former situation where Powell hid in a stairwell in Miami for hours just to follow Katy into a restaurant. He claims it was the closest that he had ever come to seeing her face to face. A week before his arrest, he was also caught scaling a building in Miami Beach, climbing all the way to the 4th floor just to meet Katy. He was, of course, kicked off of the property and now has a lovely little restraining order to remind him of their time together. Number 9. Keira Knightley. Keira had to deal with one of the strangest stalkers of all time. Mark Revell bombarded the actress with messages online and wrote in chalk on the street outside of her house. According to his testimony, Mark admitted to stalking Keira for 3 months straight, making repeated trips to her $3.9 million home in the north of London. Eventually, he was chased away by Keira's husband, James Wrighton, but the strangest thing about this dude was the way in which he stalked her. While the chalk on the street was the first point of contact, it was when he sent her a USB full of cat photos and cat-themed music that really set her off. He then constantly delivered handwritten letters to the home, but instead of just dropping the letters off and moving along, he would stay there and meow into her mailbox. Yeah, to the shock of nobody, this made Keira pretty uncomfortable, and she was forced to watch as he would appear, leave, rinse, and repeat. Apparently, the stalking was a combination of him being a mega fan, but also wishing to sell his music to her or get her to promote him. The cat-themed music that was on the USB, he did that! Isn't that neat? It turns out Mark has a long and troubled history of exposing himself and being a generally creepy individual. Fear not though, he was eventually arrested and Keira has yet to hear from this man again. Number 8. Robert Pattinson. This is a fun one. Robert Pattinson not only met his stalker face to face, but he actually took her out for dinner. Ever since he starred as the sparkly vampire Edward Cullen, Robert has dealt with a ton of superfans, from the highly dangerous to the relatively tame. Robert has seen them all. Once while filming in Spain, a fan stood outside of his apartment all day for weeks. She would scream his name and take photos, but she would never leave no matter how much he asked. While most people would call the police, Robert revealed that he was so bored and lonely that he went out and just kind of took her out for dinner. Apparently the move was one of pure genius, because instead of alerting authorities, he found a unique way to rid himself of the stalker. He said that during their dinner he just complained about everything in his life. Simply doing this caused her to call him boring, and she left. While this worked for Robert, I just want to say, if someone stands outside of your apartment for a few weeks, maybe call the cops. Number 7. Taylor Swift. Is it really that shocking to learn that Taylor Swift has a stalker? Realistically, she probably has the most amount of stalkers on this list. Unfortunately, she had to deal with one of them face to face. A man named Mitchell Table was arrested after he sent Taylor Swift's father a letter declaring Taylor as his soulmate. He also made it clear that he was anti-government, but that he was also running for president in 2024. Not a great first impression to the man who may have been your future father-in-law. Taylor's team had also received several photographs from various no-no devices, as well as threatening remarks made towards the pop star. In his final and very creepy post to Twitter, he urged Swifties attending her Eras tour to, quote, always be one step ahead of her wherever she goes. This was actually the second time that this guy was arrested for being an absolute menace to Taylor Swift, because in 2018, Mitchell was arrested following a high-speed chase in Arizona. Mitchell was trying to follow a bus that he thought Taylor was on. After tracking a tour bus for a long time, someone finally called the authorities to knock him off the road. Her most recent run-in with Mitch was actually at the start of the Eras tour. He traveled to Nashville, Tennessee, and snuck into her apartment. Yeah, he didn't take anything, he just kinda went in, chilled for a minute, and then got out of there, which, I don't know, it's somehow creepier. He currently sits in jail being caught and arrested for stalking, threatening, intimidation, invasion of privacy, and being an idiot. Thankfully, the only time Taylor actually had to see this guy was through the glass of her tour bus while he chased her. Number 6, Sandra Bullock. Sandra is an extremely gifted actor and is considered to be a major player in the world of Hollywood. If you want proof, just look at her $16 million home surrounded by top-notch security. Unfortunately, one night that security team failed to catch a man who was obsessed with the Blind Side star. Suddenly, one night a man broke into her home, forcing her to hide in a closet. The intruder eventually found Sandra in the locked closet and banged on the door as she called the police for assistance. It was revealed after the fact that this particular night, her maid was gone and her son was not home, so the only way that he could know that information was from watching her activities for several days. The man, identified as Joshua James Corbett, was taken into custody, and it was discovered that he had a ton of stuff that he was not allowed to have. Unregistered meanie beanies, whacking sticks, and stabby jabby things. Man, I wish we could say the real stuff online. He was arrested and placed into a mental health facility, but after a very long standoff with the LAPD and SWAT team, he took his own life. Despite trying to break into her house, when asked about the incident, Sandra actually commented on how terrible the justice system is and how the world had failed him, shoving him in some facility, preventing him from getting proper help. Number 5. Drew Barrymore. During a live speaking event in Manhattan, Drew Barrymore was almost tackled by a stalker after rushing her on stage. At the time, there was a security team in place who successfully took the man down and escorted him out of the room. Chad Michael Busto was temporarily detained but was set free following the event. The footage of him rushing the stage is super uncomfortable. While attending the event, Chad shouts Drew's name from the crowd and slowly walks towards her. Security pushes him away and escorts Drew off stage. The moment came during a quiet part of the conversation, so it was not only shocking to fans but to Drew as well. She returned to the stage and everything seemed to be okay. Well, this dude really should have gotten arrested, because only a few days after the event, Drew came face to face with this man again after he went door to door in her neighborhood trying to find her. Chad eventually found her house and started banging on her door with just sheer force. She called police, who found him in the area still trying to break into the house, and he was arrested, charged, but released back into the wild. Good job, guys. Number 4, Britney Spears. When Britney and her now ex-husband Sam Asghari got married, they had to deal with a major stalker from Britney's past. Her ex-husband, Jason Alexander, made his way to the ceremony uninvited and was tackled by her security team. He appeared at the house where the ceremony was taking place and found Britney getting ready in her bedroom. Alex refused to leave the property and actually took out a security guard while being dragged out of the house. His intentions may have just been to be the "I object" guy, but at the end of the day, he tracked down a woman without her knowledge and entered an event that he was not invited to. Stalker? Yes, he did. Number 3, Kendall Jenner. One of the youngest members of the Kardashian clan is no stranger to creepy men. I can only imagine how many nutcases have probably tried to sneak into the Kardashian house in the show's runtime. A man in his mid-20s made a mark as the one that almost got to her in 2021. A man whose name has been kept from the tabloids presented himself at the gates of Kendall's community. Despite the guards denying him entrance, he scaled the walls and got around them. Luckily, he didn't have the exact number of the home that Kendall was in, he just kinda knew which gated community. After Kendall was notified of the intruder, she hid in a room and watched as he searched for her outside of her window. Eventually, he was arrested and after a quick trip to the hospital, was booked for misdemeanor trespassing. Jenner started to steer clear of that house as this was one of a long list of attempted intrusions. In fact, only a few months earlier, someone actually made it to her house and tried to swim in her pool, wearing absolutely nothing. After banging on the walls and trying to get her out of the house, this guy was tackled by her security team. She watched the entire entire thing go down once again from a window safe and sound. She was later granted a restraining order against the swimster, but it only has a 5-year warranty, so we'll see you in 5 years, bud. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. The Herbie Fully Loaded star has had her fair share of public mishaps over the years, but a man named Daniel Verder-Warbeck delivered one of the most uncomfortable moments in Lindsay's life. He appeared at the hotel that she was staying in claiming to be her husband. The staff were made very well aware of the possibility that someone might try to sneak in and see Miss Lohan, so when he was denied entry into the hotel, he started to flip out. He would not let off the reservation manager, even damaging a door in frustration. Lindsay was in the hotel at the time, but she was upstairs and only heard about the situation from staff. Apparently this man had been sending emails to them for weeks, even photoshopping marriage certificates in an attempt to prove their love. Instead, all he proved was that he had a really creepy obsession. The German national was banned from contacting Lindsay directly, indirectly, by electronics. If this dude taped a note to a pigeon and she got it, he was heading for the slammer. He was also banned from the Chiltern Firehouse, which is the hotel she was at, and charged with 2 counts of criminal damage. And at number 1, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton was the star of the 2000s, having her own reality show and being the one who invented the term famous for being famous. In 2011, she came face to face with a man named Nathan Lee Parada. Paris was all too familiar with this guy and his shenanigans. While being interviewed on the streets, she was just trying to get by when he suddenly popped out of a bush and tried to grab her. A security guard tackled him to the ground, and Paris confirmed that that was the guy who was a regular problem in her life. The issue culminated in Nathan attempting to break into Paris's house while she was still sleeping. He banged on her window before physically breaking into the house. Her boyfriend, Cy Watts, was able to get a hold of Nathan and keep him contained until the police arrived. While being interviewed by detectives, he claimed that his goal was to take as much as he could, and then he planned on moving to a deserted island after the burglary. Thankfully, he was arrested, and she has yet to face him again so far. And those are the celebrities who came face to face with their stalkers. You don't want to see a part 2?
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kylie Jenner. Back in 2015, it seems like nobody could stop talking about Kylie Jenner's lips. And her lips even started a challenge on social media that caused some serious damage to a ton of faces worldwide. In the following months, Kylie would then finally admit to getting lip filler done. And later on, she would admit that she went a little crazy with her lip injections when she sat down for an interview with Allure magazine, which was conducted by her older sister Kim Kardashian. In the interview, Kylie would tell her older sister, "Well, I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point. I got excited and felt like I needed to do a lot. And then you guys were like, Kylie, you need to chill." After Kylie did realize that she went a little too far with the filler, she did go back to have it fixed, and then she would say it was a crazy process, but she was thankful that she didn't end up botched. Number 9, Khloe Kardashian. At one point in time, Khloe Kardashian was looking a little crazy as she went a little too overboard on her face fillers. She even once told MTV that she had given up on getting fillers. Once, when she told the media outlet, "I look crazy when I had fillers, and I still think the effects are in there. I went to have it all dissolved like 3 times." Despite all the mess she faced when she had the fillers done, she was extremely still into the idea of having surgery done. As in 2016, she told Cosmopolitan US, "You think plastic surgery should be viewed almost like makeup because we're all putting on an effing mask basically every day." But maybe she just said this so everyone would stop exposing the family for having multiple procedures done and lying to the public about it. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, we have Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox's career started to take off after she was cast as Monica on the hit NBC sitcom Friends back in the 1990s. However, she's been raising eyebrows ever since she started to get more work done on her face. Courtney has also admitted that her fillers got to a point where she wasn't aware of how strange her face was beginning to look, and when she did, it prompted her to slow down with all of the face fillers. She then sat down with OK Learn and would tell the media outlet, "There was a time when you go, oh, I'm changing. I'm looking older, and I tried to chase that youthfulness for years. And I didn't realize, oh shucks, I'm actually looking really strange with injections and doing stuff to my face that I would never do now. While the actor has tried to go back and dissolve all the filler, it has truly left her face looking unrecognizable, but hey, at least she's able to move it now. Number 7. Lady Gaga. It seems like Lady Gaga seems to be back on her facial injection grind after fans pointed out that she looked noticeably different at the 2022 Grammy Awards. It's not really shocking that she has continued to fill her face with fillers, however, as back in 2013, the Born This Way songstress previously has been pretty open about her obsession with fillers when she revealed to the media outlet OK, I was really obsessed with getting facial injections at one point. Lady Gaga's obsession became so much, her photographer friends even had to sit her down and tell her, Gaga, I love you, but if you don't stop injecting stuff in your face, I'm just going to off you. One time she even had to cover up her face during a performance because even she knew her face, not being able to move, looked a little creepy, and she admitted to it on stage in the process. Number 6. Donatella Versace. It seems like Donatella Versace has become a major conversation not only for her designs but also for her botched looking appearance. On top of a really bad facelift, it's clear that the star has also had problems with overdoing it with fillers not only on her lips but also in her cheeks. After she's been made fun of by almost every media outlet for her appearance, she would just stop going under the knife to keep up with a more youthful appearance, but even today she continues to go and get fillers injected into her face. To the point now she's completely unrecognizable, but hey, at least her designs are still fire, that's all that really matters, right? Number 5. Jessica Simpson. While Jessica Simpson has been pretty open when it comes to plastic surgery, fans have been skeptical over the alleged work she has done to her face in recent years. In 2006, Jessica would even tell Glamour magazine that she had gotten lip fillers and she didn't end up liking how they looked, so then she just let them fade away. With the procedures looking pretty botched, even Jessica would say that they looked fake to her and she didn't like that. After messing up her lips, you would think she would have learned her lesson about using fillers, but then in 2021, the blonde babe sparked concern once again after she posted a selfie on her Instagram where she looked completely unrecognizable to her fans. Her comments then started to get a little selfish when fans started to comment things like, girl, you look too plastic, she totally messed up her face, and it makes you think, will we ever live in society that chooses girls to love their natural beauty, or will fake always be called beautiful? Number 4. Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has never been the one to shy away from the truth when it comes to cosmetic work, as she has had multiple procedures done over the years. In 2017, she even started to poke fun at herself by admitting, everything about me is fake except for my cheeks. She then went on to point to her forehead, her nose, her lips, while admitting, they're all fake, and that she even had Botox injected into her armpits so she could stop her excessive sweating. Does that even work? Even today, it seems like Chrissy can't even stop having work done to her face, as she's ended up altering her face again by going under a procedure to have her fat removed from her cheeks, which she has told her followers she has no shame about, but she really should have some type of shame about it because she be looking scary out here now. Number 3. Heidi Montag. In 2010, the Hill star Heidi Montag started to make headlines after she underwent 10 cosmetic surgeries in a day. With having liposuction and work done on her chest, she topped everything off by getting fillers done to her face and lips, and in the process she ended up looking like a botched version of Barbie. Heidi has since discussed her strong regrets about undergoing the procedures when she sat down for an interview in 2019. And in the interview she would say, I do look back and go, wow, that's a big thing I did, and I should have thought about it longer. That was an intense decision to make at such a young age. And if you should take anything from Heidi's mistake, then it should be that before you go and get anything done, you should think about it and maybe talk to a surgeon before you ruin your face. As once you get work done, you can't undo the effects, as it will last a lifetime. Coming in number 2, we have Madonna. Madonna's face has been the hot topic of discussion lately, as it's clear she lives in her own realm when it comes to plastic surgery. And with the Material Girl singer being all over TikTok showing off her new look, some fans have become really concerned, as they've started to point out that recently she looks a little too much like a boiled egg. A New York plastic surgeon named Dr. Steve Falick even previously told OK that the Queen of Pop's face seems to have a lot of issues. Starting from the top, she has a bunch of Botox, so her forehead doesn't move at all. Her cheeks are way too filled with the filler, and she might have had buccal fat pad reduction to narrow her face too. The lips are almost too out of proportion and too big for her face. The internet has been coming for Madonna, but it's at the point where I feel like she does it on purpose just so she can stay relevant in the media. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman once admitted to being addicted to Botox before she came to the realization that the freezing effects from it were taking the life out of her face. When the actress sat down for an interview with Huffington Post, she would tell the media outlet that she did once try Botox, but it took her a while to realize it wasn't for her, and that she has since gotten out of it. And since stopping the procedures, she has actually finally been able to move her face again. But it seems like she has had more than just Botox done to her face, as it's looking a little too sculpted and puffy in certain places to suggest that she also had fillers. And it's clear that she won't stop using them as her face just keeps looking a little too uneven.